Hiya and welcome back to Moonlight Castle. The game that teaches us that... Joel, just go to bed. Just go to bed, Joel. Do us all a favor. Lay down and take a nap. You've been through so much, baby. Just lay down and take a nap. That is the best thing that you can do. Anyways, let's just hop right in. Cole needs to eat. Yes, he does. Now, how do we go for Dylan's route? I think it's a stay with the group. And go after Dylan. Quietly, I stared at the crocodile as he disappeared into the hallway. I kept telling myself in my mind that it was neither my business nor my responsibility, yet I failed to convince myself not to want to follow him. Is something wrong? No, I'm fine. I don't know, Amethyst. 'Cause I've been feeling the same way. I don't know. Nope, I'm fine. It appeared that the wind outside had, somehow, made its way right into me. Inside myself, there was also a storm that refused to stop swirling, and only heaven knew that I tried to keep it in. Then I felt Ryan's hand surrounding my face, Haya. He was cupping my head in his paws. His playfulness really helped quell the heaviness in my mind. I know you're not fine. You can't hide it from me. Once again, I looked in the direction that Dylan had gone in, wondering if there was any use dwelling on a train that had already departed. He's exploring the place all alone. I see, so that's what this is all about. I was expecting the bear to either get mad or question my stupid thoughts. However, he didn't say a word, no matter how long I waited. It was a little surprising, but at the same time, it was kind of comforting. I wanted to go after him. You still can, if you want to. Should I, though? Something was holding me back. I couldn't help thinking that Dylan probably didn't want to be around me. I wasn't sure if I should waste time just to hurt myself again. Also, leaving Ryan behind just to go after some arrogant crocodile, that didn't sound like a good idea to me at all. Personally, I wouldn't. Dylan is probably going to assume the worst reasons you're following him, and the more you chase, the harder he'll make it for you. I sighed, fully aware of what Ryan said. I was expecting to hear it anyways, and I was waiting for him to just say it. But it seems that you have some unfinished business with him. There was a brief pause. Something is bothering you, isn't it? Maybe you didn't like how things ended last time and now you just want to try again? My eyes widened upon hearing that, and I turned to face him in silence, unsure of what to say. Truth in his words felt like a punch in my face. Am I dumb? He burst out laughing, getting everyone's attention in the process. Hang on, I gotta come up with Ryan's laugh. No. What should Ryan's laugh be? Because I just... No, I get what you're saying, Amethyst. I do get what you're saying. No. No. Fucking, I can't think of a laugh. You are! And that's what I like about you. You never give up. Now, hurry before you miss the chance. I gave him a squeeze as a small... Even Patrice is like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? I gave him a squeeze as a small thank you. The bear always knew how to put me back on my feet. I'll go then. No time for sulking. That's the spirit. You'd better bring back some good news. Yeah. That the guy. I rushed into the hallway that Dylan had gone in a few minutes ago. I believe that he was further inside since I remember that he liked secluded spots. Or at least that's what I thought until I found him crawling along the hallway. On all fours. And sniffing like a trained dog on duty. The fuck, Dylan? The fuck, Dylan? What the fuck, dude? and it appeared there was no reaction to my presence. Maybe he hadn't noticed that I was behind him. I didn't know what to do as he kept moving forward. Each time I tried to talk with him, all the topics I'd brought up about what he'd been doing at the time had always resulted in chaos. I know you're there. No, wait. I know you're there. Stop whatever you're doing and return to the lounge. I didn't like that the first thing he did once he finally acknowledged my presence was shoo me away. I'm not leaving unless you come with me. He bounced up to stand properly on his feet and then turned around to face me with an annoying smug. What makes you think that I will? I just don't want you to go alone. What? Okay. There you go. Don't tell me you actually listened to the bullshit Liam said. I'll be fine. Go back to your guy. As the crocodile finished saying that, he walked away. If he really thought that was enough to change my mind, he couldn't be more wrong. I continued to follow him. Joel, you're starting to piss me off. Should I punch you? Is that what you want? What does it take to stop you from pestering me? Yeah, maybe I... As soon as the first word came out of my mouth, Dylan didn't hesitate, even for a second, to stand over me. And soon I began to think that I might have underestimated how serious he was. The look on his face was as threatening as the one he wore on the day I met him. Maybe if I didn't hold on to my pride so much, I wouldn't be shaking right now. If that'll let me keep an eye on you, then so be it. I didn't know what I was thinking. My heart didn't agree to what I said at all. I was spewing nonsense, merely trying to cover the fact that I was in terror. He raised his fist and I closed my eyes, readying myself for the impact. However, in the end, he only flicked my nose. Ouch! You're basically holding a gun to my head. Oh no! Youch. That was unexpected, but it hurt regardless. I covered my nose with both hands. Why the fuck would you say that if you didn't mean it? Acting like a badass when you clearly aren't one, idiot. Fuck off! I'm just trying to make sure you're okay. Hiya. You're weird. I thought you didn't want to be around me anymore. Really? That's what you thought? From our talk in the forest? Wait. It seemed he was about to shove me aside and pay attention to something else again. This crocodile surely knew how to push my buttons. It was as if he was born with with natural talent for making me mad. Nobody could ever do it like him, and he liked to shush me like I was nothing. That smell. Smelly smell that smells. Smelly. It's getting stronger. Great! And now you're telling me I stink? Jesus Christ, get your makeup, you clown! Then he started to pace himself faster as he headed toward the inner part of the hallway. Dylan! He was probably going to just leave me here if I didn't chase him. I wasn't going to let myself be ignored, and following him was my only option to get him to pay attention to me. Still following me? I guess you're not stopping, are you? No, you'd better punch me if you really don't want to have me around. I never wanted to punch you. I was just trying to make you go away. Why is that? I was trying to warn you that the job Liam has assigned me isn't exactly suitable for you. I was hoping that you'd send Ryan or Blake, either of them, or nobody. That would have worked too. Say what it is. So that you can freak out again? Don't become a burden more than you already are. I hate you. Not the worst I've heard. Dylan moved fast as if he already knew the place. I was simply following his lead, and neither of us bothered to check any of the doors. I wanted to know what the deal between him and Liam was, but the reptile refused to say anything to me, no matter how I asked him. Are these plants? At the very end of the hallway, where it seemed there was supposed to be a door, there was instead an enclosed frame covered with vines. Reptile tried to tear them apart, but there were just too many. Together, they were too thick for bare hands to do much work. I guess we can no longer continue. That's what you think! Dylan revealed a small knife that was hidden in his jacket. He pulled it out, flipped it open, and continued to dig through the vines. Apparently his knife was sharp enough to cut them, and soon he managed to make a hole for us to fit through. You could have made that a little bigger. A shame that you won't get to follow me then. You did that on purpose, didn't you? Who knows? His logic was kind of backward, though. Surely he was bigger than me. I thought about saying that I could test the hole for him first. He was being stubborn, and he decided to try to push himself through it first. You don't fit. Cut more. Shut up! I just need to push harder. That would sound awful out of context. That would sound horrible out of context. I placed my hands on his back and shoved him through, and then a loud splash was heard. Following him in, I saw him lying on the floor with his head dunked into a little pond near the entrance. Lucky for him, only his face was wet. Not so lucky for him, it was very funny and quite satisfying to watch. Fuck this place, why the hell is there a greenhouse here? He got up and yelled, and I tried my best to hold back the laughter. His body had stretched the whole... Phrasing! His body had stretched the hole for me, so I didn't have much trouble coming in. No tripping ensued, and it really felt like a reward. Phrasing! Joel. Phrasing. Just phrasing. Use this. I took pity on him and gave him a tissue to dry his face with. Begrudgingly, he took it from my hand. You know, if you talk more and act less like the entire world was against you, maybe you wouldn't need to be wiping your face right now. It's how it is. I didn't make the rules. I'm simply following them. We'll just keep giving cats even more reasons to get... I don't understand. Me neither. Maybe I should just get over it and get rid of you. That's not what I... Ever since you yelled at me, I found it hard to be mad at you. It's weird. Does that mean I now have a pass that allows me to get through your moodiness? I was half smiling and he just groaned. His eyes rolled. The crocodile pushed me away. Ugh, whatever. I'm not going to say it anymore. Oh no, I'm sorry. Please say it. I wanted to make you leave, so technically I guess I could just tell you the truth to make you go away. That seems like the easiest solution. Don't be an idiot. You really think that I... The same way as everyone else. I already know how you'll react if I tell you. I know how it goes. You'll definitely change your mind. Try me. I'm waiting. He stared at me and remained silent for a couple of seconds. He was probably conflicted about sharing secrets with me. I've been tasked with searching for blood. What? That came out of nowhere. He did warn me that was going to be unexpected. However, the news still hit me right in the face anyway. You know, Blake is really good at hearing things right. Reluctantly, I nodded, and I was kind of afraid of where this conversation was going. I'm good at sensing bloodlust. If there's danger, blood, or anything that may start a fight, I can feel it. That sounds like a really useful skill, but to obtain one has to get accustomed to it first. I think you understand the implications of the fact I have this ability. Hearing that caused in my mind an avalanche of thoughts and questions, and they were all overwhelming. I didn't really know what to do. Basically, I'm hunting danger. You need to leave, now. Why? Shouldn't the castle be abandoned? What's going on? Was Liam aware of this all along, and he sent us here regardless? I slowly spiraled down another panic attack. Crazy and irrational thoughts formed in my head, more than usual. His face suggested that he already regretted everything he said to me. See, this is exactly why I wanted you to just stay away and mind your damn business. Get your shit together. Don't go! I made a plea, and for a moment there, Dylan seemed sad. He looked upset but not mad, unlike the usual. You're no different from us. Don't put yourself in danger. No one else cares enough to get their hands dirty. Someone has to do it, and it's me. I care about you. Please stay with me. We're safe. I could sense that I was this close to getting Dylan to have a change of heart. But suddenly he just bashed his head on a tree to get rid of this feeling of guilt. Decide here and now whether you want to follow me or leave. I'm not going to listen to any of your complaints, but you can ask questions and I'll try to answer them. Took a deep breath. My mind was still trying to catch up with all the things he'd said and also what he'd done just now. The latter of which was quite excessive. I'm coming with you. Fine, I won't argue. Just make sure to stay near me so that I can protect you. I grabbed my hat and tugged it down so that I could protect myself from what I just heard. My mind was feeling numb and my cheeks were burning. I need a minute! I took a moment to sit on the ground and recollect my thoughts, or else my body would collapse on its own. A mental breather was much needed. While I was taking my time to regain composure, I could hear that Dylan was moving, probably to keep looking for so-called blood and danger. Once I'd calmed down, I removed the hat from my eyes, returned it to its original position, and scanned the area for Dylan's whereabouts. Hopefully he didn't pull the last straw and leave me behind. Behind the tree! I stood up and followed the voice. Peeking from the side, I saw him taking a sniff of the walls, most likely to find clues. On the walls, there were mosses and plants, which covered everything in green. My eyes glided along the walls, and that was when I realized the room had no visible entrance other than the one that Dylan and I came through earlier. Considering the symmetry and the size of this structure, I figured there was definitely another entrance somewhere, except that it was most likely blocked by the vines. Having trouble trying to locate where to cut? If this place didn't stink so much, I'd be done already. Dylan angrily stabbed the wall multiple times just to see how deep the knife would go into it each time. He kept at it for a while until he managed to dig another hole in it, though the size of the new hole was much less than desirable, and I was a little hesitant to comment on it. He stared at the new hole for a bit, grunted a few times, and went back to cutting. For some reason, he was glaring at me the whole time that his hands were busy. Yeah, that's big enough. Screw you! I'm just waiting for you to say it, Cats. Waiting for you to say it. We easily made our way through the hole, this time without mishaps. Another long hallway engraved with the same pattern presented itself to us. Once again, Dylan paid no mind to the surroundings and headed forward, following his nose. Not what I was expecting you to say, but... I actually thought we'd keep walking, but soon he stopped himself in front of one of the doors and opened it without hesitation. Not even locked. Boring. He took a quick peek at the inside and then simply walked away from the room without stepping into it or even bothering to close the door. What's wrong with it? Moved there to give it a quick check and saw that it was a library, a big one too. Knowing how much he liked to spend time reading novels in the campus's library, I found it odd that he wouldn't be interested in this finding. Enough holes until it becomes a Junji Ito reference. Oh no! I sense stronger blood there, but I'm looking for the source and that room isn't it. I was getting goosebumps from the way he phrased that, so I closed the door and chased him down the hallway. I didn't want to know the details, my mind was already trying to pull a Patrice anytime. Can I ask how it works? Yet somehow I managed to ask that. I already told you. No, I mean, you can smell blood, alright, but does that mean this place is dangerous or not? It's a little more complex than that. Blood itself isn't bad, but if I can sense it on something or someone, it means that the thing or the person is capable of hurting someone else. If they hurt others before, then the smell gets onto them. Oh, so you can feel it only from the people who've done something in the past? No, that's just one type. If they're planning to hurt others, even if they've never done it before, I can feel it as well. That one is bloodlust. Interesting. Don't be impressed by it. I've done bad stuff. I'm glad I can't smell myself. What do you mean? It's obvious that not all blood smells the same. Blake and Ryan each carry a different type of one. Blake's is stronger, which means he's committed a bigger sin. I was skeptical at first, but after hearing him mention Ryan, I became rather curious. You don't know what they did, right? Look at me, do I look like I care? I didn't even ask questions when Liam assigned me to this job. He's paying for it incredibly well, and that's all I need. I didn't question Dylan for saying that. I thought the crocodile wasn't the type to ask about things that weren't related to the main objective anyway. However, that wouldn't rule out the possibilities of him hearing those things from the others. This is it, it's coming from here. We reached a staircase that headed downward. Dylan pulled out a flashlight and turned it on. From the underground, of course it was. Stay closer to me, we're going in. I took a deep breath and gripped his jacket as I walked right behind him. Wow! We need to stay the fuck away from here. We need to stay the fuck away from this basement. Because this is scary. It's spooky. It's a spooky, scary skeleton that shivers down my spine. Shrieking skulls will shock my soul, seal my doom tonight. Oh shit, there is a door at the end. As we descended the staircase, our vision became darkened. I hated how our footsteps and the noises we made reverberated off the walls. The darkness was engulfing both of us and we had nowhere near enough light to fend it off. My phone helped a bit, but it was still as if we were trying to see the other end of a bottomless pit. Huh. Weird. Sans Undertale, oh no. Are we really sure about this? We can still go back, right? Shut up and let me do my thing. I vouched for your safety, didn't I? You did, and that's nice, but I'm still going to be scared. Yeah, at least try not to be in the way. I didn't know where we were heading. I was already worried by the fact that the staircase was taking us underground, and there surely was still much room for other potential concerns. As we reached the bottom, we found a basement. It was huge and full of debris and garbage, however, it was also mostly empty. Are we in the pacifist or genocide route? I think we're in the pacifist route. I mean, take one look at Joel. We're in the pacifist route. Oh, fucker can't hurt a fly. How tall is Joel anyway? How tall is he? Like, this is an actual question. How tall is he? As tall as Liam. How tall is Liam? As we reached the bottom, we found a basement. It was huge and full of debris and garbage. However, it was also mostly empty. The noises were terrorizing my ears. I couldn't identify which sound was which because all of them are bouncing all over the place and clashing with one another. These noises, are they our echoes? Is this a chamber? Don't know, don't care. I'm not here to investigate the noises. Could be water moving shit around. Stop crying. Where are we going? Dylan inhaled air deeply through his nostrils, then exhaled it all through his mouth. The source of that smell is moving. It's getting harder to detect. The person, the creature, whatever I'm feeling knows what I'm doing. Ah! I tightened my grip on his jacket. Please don't tell me that you want to go deeper. Fine, I won't tell you. Phrasing! Dylan chased after the faint smell of blood, and against my better judgment, I followed him. We moved further, and he was kind enough to never mention about me following him. Yeah, some weird shit definitely happened here, and whoever did it knows how to hide it well. It began to dawn on me that I'd underestimated how serious this little trip turned out to be. His lack of expertise and proper skills to investigate a scene had also led me to ignore and miss a lot of things. That was probably more of a burden than a help to Dylan down here. In the midst of my thoughts, I collapsed and fell on my legs. Why did you let go? I'm gonna change his voice to, ah. Dylan turned around to look at me, and immediately he lowered himself to check if I was okay. What happened? Are you hurt? No. No, I don't like that voice. As he saw I was pressing both sides of my head with my hand, a look of concern appeared on his face. It felt as if someone had injected straight into my brain a dose of pure pain. It was by far the worst headache I've ever had. My head! It hurts! Are you reacting to something? Whatever, doesn't matter. We're leaving, okay?
I have crippling depression.
Oh, same. I nodded slowly. Keeping focus was a challenge at the moment. My sight became blurry, and I was beginning to find it difficult to even understand Dylan's words. Thought I heard a voice pleading and crying for help, and I wondered if it was just a hallucination or someone was really there. I couldn't muster any strength to answer it or even speak a word, and my vision was too blurry for me to see anything much. In fact, I could barely make out a vague shape of Dylan's face next to mine as a crocodile lifted me up and offered himself as a support for my body while we walked out of the basement. I didn't faint, but I couldn't help thinking that it'd be better if I did. I could hardly feel my body as I was sputtering and coughing up my lungs. It's okay. Take it easy. Breathe. We took a break until my heart was beating at a normal pace again. I wheezed and gasped for air, and it felt as if I'd stopped breathing entirely while we were down there. I wasn't sure if it was a good idea to mention the voice to the reptile, though. Was I hallucinating? I don't understand. Take it to Liam. If someone can explain it, it's him. Are you going down there again? The traces were already gone by the time I looked at you, but I think Liam will be satisfied with just hearing what you and I found. Sorry for holding you back. I know you wanted to keep looking, though. I appreciate how you prioritized taking care of me when I was struggling. I didn't prioritize anything. I just said the thing was already gone, so I was about to leave anyway. You didn't change anything. I didn't believe him. When we were walking out of there, I could see his eyes and the look on his face. It showed that there was real concern, and he was genuinely worried about me. Though I doubt he'd ever admit it. Can you walk? I nodded at him as I stood up. Starting to walk, however, I teetered and almost tripped a few times. I'm fine! Just going to be a bit slow. I was too ashamed to ask for help. How much of a mess I'd become, I wasn't sure if he was going to be comfortable touching me, and I didn't want to push any boundaries. Shut up and let me help. I'm still in charge here. Forcefully, he took my arm, wrapped it around his neck, and pulled me up. I felt embarrassed, and I was getting flustered. However, the way he reacted to it with no emotion kind of helped me not get embarrassed further. Dylan. What? This is the least rough I can be. It's as good as it can be. Deal with it. Oh, hiya. Don't you ever get tired of being the bad guy? No. You didn't have to answer it immediately. Thoughtless questions don't get a thoughtful answer, stupid. What about the silent treatment? Said I'd answer your questions, don't abuse it. I still don't think you're such a bad person that everyone else seems to think you are. I wonder why you just accepted that and never really tried to change it. Is Ryan possessing you or something? You're being nosy as hell, exactly like him. Yeah, hiya. Standard cats. Standard cats. Hearing him comparing me with Ryan really threw a wrench in the works as I was planning. I didn't want to appear like I was forcing my way into people's lives like the bear did. That was the last thing I wanted. You want to know the truth? I tilted my head to the side so that it leaned against the stubborn crocodiles. The truth is that even you can be cool if you really want to. He groaned. Massaging his head, Dylan was most likely trying not to snap at me. My friend is such a handful, acting like a baby. Holy shit, what a nuisance. As I heard that, my eyes were filled with sparkles. Dylan was looking away from me, and I could totally picture what kind of face he was hiding. He'd made a slip, and he must have realized that. I'm your friend! Of course you are, you dumbass, what else? He yelled at me and finally snapped. I couldn't help trying and failing to stop my giggles. He then sent me some threats, but they were nowhere near heavy this time, and I knew that they were all empty. For some reason, this interaction gave me a warm feeling, and it felt like he was coddling me. We won! And soon at the end of the hallway, I could see the other friends waiting for our return. The other friends. Nah, because Dylan's our bestie now. As soon as we entered the lounge without warning, Dylan dropped me on the floor in front of everyone. Ow. Maybe I'd pushed it a little too far. Dylan, what the fuck did you do to Joel? Ryan rushed in to help me get up, and immediately after that, the others formed a circle around us to take a look and show their concern. I couldn't really keep up with what they were all saying, so I tried to reassure everyone that I was fine, and the whole time I was doing that, I was staring at Dylan. The reptile was quiet. Some of us were trying to approach him, but he'd already thrown a deadly glare at them so that they'd back away and choose to come to look at me instead. Ryan, however, kept going and demanded an explanation from the crocodile. Stop. My voice was merely a whisper compared to all the fuss they were making. Completely overwhelmed, I felt helpless. I didn't understand what Dylan was trying to do. Was he trying to prove a point to me, to himself? Did he really have to go that far? Guys, that's enough. Blake managed to push Ryan back and break the two apart, with some assistance from Patrice, who helped by holding down the reptile. Joel hasn't even said a word yet before you two start going at it. At least ask him what happened. I charged at Ryan from behind and gave him a hug while begging him to stop. The bear sighed and finally stepped aside. I looked at Dylan. Our eyes met, though only briefly before the reptile turned away and left the castle. I saw he was carrying you. It seems counterproductive just to throw you at the end. Clyde was probably the only one who noticed that, as well as the fact I was shaking my head as he said it. I was at a complete loss as to why Dylan would do what he did.
So, before we all head back, I just wanted to say that tomorrow I have an announcement to make. We'll discuss it during lunch. Sounds good?
I guess. And with that, we all decided to call it a night and leave the castle. Then Ryan will yeet you and put you in a garbage can. In the garbage. As we walked back to our car, it was very obvious to me that all of us were in quite a bitter mood. I myself was also upset about the stunt Dylan had pulled, throwing me on the ground just like that. I failed to wrap my head around it. There was simply no justifiable reason for him to do that, and the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. Do you want to talk about it? I hate to see you like this. I don't think I can right now, but thanks. I know I can count on you. You should be grateful you went along with that bullshit. Nobody would have done the same for him. We got to our car, and I didn't bother to continue the conversation with Ryan. There was no point in saying my thoughts about the whole ordeal when the bear himself wasn't there to see it. Ryan got into the car, and the crocodile and I, and everyone else, were waiting outside for the bear to unlock the door. That was when Dylan's eyes met mine again. What should we do? Should we ignore Dylan or slap him? Just give him a good old, slap the bitch. I thought you were going to say something else. I genuinely thought you were going to say something else, Cats. I was irritated by the way Dylan was looking at me. It seemed to me that this guy just didn't care. It was just another day to him, an average one where he carelessly crushed people's feelings, especially mine. The car's door was unlocked right after my palm had connected to his face and left a red mark on his cheek. That isn't what I thought you'd say, Cats, but not surprising. I was shaking and holding my hand in front of me like it was a murder weapon, and he was just standing there, wearing the same expression he had worn yesterday. My hand hurt.
It's time to drink water.
I was not expecting you to say that either.
It's time to drink
My
water.
heart hurt. Everything hurt.
It's
Russell
time to
had
drink
warned
water.
me, yet I ignored it.
It's time to drink water.
You know what? I'm just going to put in the Discord server what I thought you were going to say, Cats. I'm putting it in the Discord server. What I genuinely thought you were going to say. Putting it into the server. Gotta open up Discord first. Because I always have it fucking closed. And just like before, I ran away, scared of Dylan. I put myself into the car and closed the door behind me. Taking a brief glance at the rearview mirror, I saw the crocodile touching the mark and caressing it with a mixture of shock and curiosity on his face. Nope. Nope. Didn't think you were going to say that either. I'm putting it in the server real quick. It's going to be in general. You know what? I'm putting in NSFW general because it's actually NSFW. Alright, it's in the server. I'm not doing it here. You can do it there after you see it, but I am not doing it there. But there you go, it's in the server. Yeah, already read that. If you dare do anything to Joel, you'll have to go through me first. Shut up and drive! Nobody said anything during the entire ride. It was slow, painful, and boring, all the way until we were back at Russell's. Once the car stopped, everyone other than Ryan and I got out of the vehicle. All the events with Dylan today were being played in my head on a loop, and I was too occupied by them to say goodbye to everyone. We can wait a little more until he leaves, okay? The two of us sat there in the van for what felt like an eternity, waiting until we could no longer see anyone else from the car. I was holding it in for so long, the moment Ryan's hand touched mine, I was pushed over the edge by the warmth and began to tear up. Uncontrollably, I sobbed in his arms. I fucked it up so bad, Ryan. I'm sorry. I thought I could do it this time, and then I ruined everything again. Shh. It's okay.
Ryan is such a clingy whore. It's unbelievable.
It's not your fault, I promise. Do you want me to stick around tomorrow just to make sure it doesn't escalate when we meet for lunch? I took a tissue from his paw and blew my nose as hard as I could. My emotions were all over the place at the moment, and I was struggling to maintain my control over them. The bear gently patted me on the head, which almost caused another eruption of my tears. Oh, you're alright. You're so nice to me and always helping me out. Thanks. Let's get you home. Try to sleep it off, okay? Yeah, I really should. We got out of the van and got into Ryan's car, and then the bear drove me home. I told Ryan multiple times that he didn't have to park the car to walk me to my door, however he insisted anyway. Knowing that he was worried about Dylan showing up, I obliged and let him do what he wanted. I was too tired to fight it, and besides, it kind of made me feel like I was wanted. Good night, Joel. Text me if you need anything. I will. Thank you for everything, really. Ryan took the opportunity to shove me in his chest and give me a bear hug. I didn't mind it, and I wanted to give one back to him too, but the difference in our sizes made it difficult for me to wrap my arms around him. Finally, I was alone and the day ended. I didn't bother to do anything before I jumped into my bed and fell asleep promptly afterward. Day 3. We just bitch slapped him. Oh, what time was it? Actually, it wouldn't really matter. I didn't feel like doing anything. I felt so tired, so exhausted, and I didn't know why. Maybe I should just sleep in. Huh? What was that noise? Where did it come from? There it was again. Ugh. Everything hurt. Joel! I know you're in there! I was dazed. Both my body and my mind were still numb from the night before. Felt as if my senses were distorted or weakened. Just barely, I could hear Ryan's voice and the constant banging on my door. It took me a moment to regain focus and the ability to discern worry in the bear's tone. Open the door, please! That must have been one hell of a night. Joel! Most images in my mind were still blurry. However, it seemed my body remembered all the pain and struggles it went through. Come on! I looked at the clock on my shelf and... Open the door, Joel, I can help you! It was so loud, so annoying, I couldn't even... Let me in, Joel, I'm here for you! I'm trying to wake up, will you shut up already? I'm virtually comatose here! There was no answer. Finally, there was some peace and quiet. I felt incredibly groggy. It was as if my body couldn't function like I hadn't slept at all. It was as if I was pretending to be alive. Now that I was awake, almost immediately my mind took the chance to remind me about the scene from last night I'd tried so hard to forget. Remembering it made me want to just snap out of consciousness again. However, knowing that Ryan was waiting for me behind the door, I had to save that for later. Why was he even here anyway? I really wanted to be alone. I checked the time once more and realized I'd missed quite a huge portion of my morning. Heaving a sigh, I hoped that Liam would lend me his notes for today. I'm coming. Dragged my feet out of bed and all the way to the door to open it. There, it's opened. Joel, I'm so sorry. I wanted to help you, but you weren't answering your phone. I was so worried. I didn't want to make it worse. So the first thing I saw after slightly opening the door was the bear mumbling nonsense on the verge of tears. Just get inside. I opened the door further so that it was fully open so that he could come in. However, for some reason, he just froze. And even his sniffles came to a halt. What? I raised a brow at him and he was staring downward, his face changing color. Ah, shit, I'm naked, aren't I? Clearly, I was too tired to deal with this bullshit. I'm not looking. It'd been a minute before he said that. Then, look at my face, Ryan. My eyes are up here. I'm doing that. Close your eyes and get inside. Don't you dare do anything until I say so. Hastily, he nodded and wobbled inside, covering his face as I requested him. I took the nearest pair of pants to put on myself and then marched the room back to my bed. Nothing makes sense. Ugh. I let out another sigh as all the uncertainty and my anxiety clouded my head. I was ready to just sit and sulk. Do you want to talk about it? The bear then sat down on the bed as well. We were facing opposite directions and our backs were leaning against one another. Oh god, I was in a similar situation. I was in a similar fucking situation in the past. Except, I was more anxiety than Ryan. Should I do Theta story time? Should I do Theta story time? No. No. I wasn't. Should I do Theta story time? Because it's pretty fucking funny. Okay, so. Freshman year of college. It was like 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago. 2 weeks after I just moved in, me and my roommate, I was just sitting on my side of the room, on my bed, playing on my phone, when my roommate walks in nothing but a towel, and he tells me, and he had a country accent. Like, this man, you know the stereotypical cowboy in Western movies? You know the stereotypical cowboy? That was him. He was the stereotypical cowboy. Like, he always walked around, like, the only thing that wasn't stereotypical about him was he wasn't wearing a vest. But, like, he was walking around, plain white t-shirt, blue jeans, cowboy boots, and the hat. Oh god, the hat. He walked in, and it is... Yes, I had a cowboy roommate, and god damn it, he was hot. Okay, so... He walked in, and he looks at me. I'm on my phone. He had the fucking hat. And he says, in his accent, might want to turn around. And I do that. I don't think that's exactly what he said, but no, he didn't. I turned around. I was so fucking nervous. And then he told me that I could turn back around, and I'm like, I bet. And then I went about my day. That's the entire fucking story. The bear then sat down on the bed as well. We were facing opposite directions, and our backs were leaning against one another. Didn't I say not to move? I turned around to look at him. And you were supposed to cover your eyes. Still doing. How lucky of you to find my bed without bumping into anything. Time to hide in the bushes with Pat from chord progressions. Oh god damn it. I tried to sound witty, however, my energy was simply lacking. And eventually I just went silent. Hey. Do you have any idea how many hours out of class I have to spend on drowning myself in these stupid books just to keep up? It really takes a lot of my energy to make
Always
notes
watching.
and to study and memorize them in a way that I won't forget. I have to keep going. I can't find a job without a degree, and everyone is struggling. After all, money doesn't grow on trees. I thought I was doing fine, but I was wrong. I wish that I could just put everything away and deal with it later, but I couldn't. I had to deal with it every day. I'm tired and lonely, and deep down, I just want to find something new. Something exciting that can motivate me and keep me going, because I don't think I can do it by myself. Not anymore. And Dylan was different. He's crazy, but he's fun to be around. Sometimes he'd do or say weird things. However, I just didn't care. You know, I'm proud of you. You're much stronger than you think, and you don't give yourself enough credit for that. Slowly, the bear moved himself next to me and gave me an embrace. I could feel that the barrier to my heart was beginning to crack a bit. College is tough and I can't fail. I don't know what will happen to me if I do. I'm scared. I just want to become his friend. I just wanted to have some fun so that I wouldn't need to spend all my days staring at the endless white abyss of texts. Not only that, but there are these feelings I have, the ones that I must bury and keep under control, otherwise my life will surely end. But I'm tired. I'm so tired of having to balance everything. I feel trapped and misunderstood, and most importantly, I feel fake. It was my breaking point. I began shrieking loudly. As I sobbed, my voice filled the room with cries for help. It was ugly, and it was something that I truly wouldn't want to let anyone witness. Why can't I be myself? Why do I have to hide? I yelled as I threw into the void the pain I had. It was funny, as there was no one to catch it and there were no walls, yet it bounced right back to me. Ryan patted my head, rubbing all my favorite spots in an attempt to ease my pain. There, let it all out. It didn't take long until I ran out of gas and deflated like a balloon. Left myself with light sniffles and coughs after my outburst. I fucked up so much yesterday. He didn't deserve what I did, although I didn't deserve what he did. I'm the worst, aren't I? Why did you even waste your time coming to see anyone like me? That's enough. This isn't your fault. I know how hard it can be dealing with family and how they pressure you into doing what they want. For Dylan, well, I don't really have an answer, as I don't know what you want. Do you want to end it? I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. Let's take it slow for today. Do you want to go somewhere nice for a change? But we have plans. Looked at the clock one more time and saw that half of my day was already gone. There was no time to think about myself. I shouldn't be allowed to. I need to apologize to Russell. We missed our morning together and I didn't give him a warning. We didn't make an appointment. Besides, I did show up and covered it for you. I yawned and stretched. It felt like fatigue was creeping up along my back. Although crying helped to regulate my mood, my body was still dead tired. I need coffee. Immediately, Ryan sprang up from the bed and looked at my kitchen, seemingly ready to make a mess. Alright, just sit here and wait. I'll make some for you. I tugged his shirt and held him in place a little longer. There was no telling what he was capable of. Do you even know where everything is? Of course I do. I've been here many times. For some reason, he seemed so proud of saying that. Well, I guess I could use some assistance right about now. Alright, since you offered. I'm just going to... What? As the bear moved to my kitchen, I made yet another sign, then pushed myself up. Seemed my day was still salvageable. Kind of. Are you seriously still going to the campus today? I have to. I'm texting Liam about today's lesson right now. Hopefully I can borrow whatever he scribbled on. It was sink or swim in this world, as it kept turning without waiting for anyone, and I couldn't afford to be left behind. I already skipped the morning one. Why don't we just skip the rest as well and drive around the city or something? There's a new bowling place that just opened up last week. Maybe ask me again during the weekend. We have to meet up with everyone for lunch today, don't you remember? I do. So, you come first, alright? Nothing else matters to me when your health is on the line. You're always thinking about me, and I appreciate it, really. Still, I'd like to go. Please? I'll stick around then. Knowing you're not alone makes me feel better. Sure, I don't mind. I enjoy your company anyway. I think it's coming up. How much sugar would you like? 2 spoons, thanks. I walked to the window and opened it to let in some fresh air. Ryan returned shortly afterward with 2 cups, and after giving one to me, he took a sip from the other. His face contorted just slightly. How can people drink this? It's an acquired taste. I need the energy. I laid my cup and began to write down possible ways to recover the hours I'd lost. What's wrong? Don't you usually show up at my place around 7 or 8 a.m. or something? Now it's almost 11. Yeah, I just stayed in the car and waited. Are you serious? That's 3 hours. Why would you wait that long? Did you just sit in your car the whole time? I texted you, but you were never online, and after you hadn't answered my phone call, I just thought that maybe you needed time for yourself. Right? So you waited 3 hours before you started panicking. I wasn't panicking, you're exaggerating. Took another sip and thought back to his screams. Yeah, sure. Anyway, I'm glad that you have my back. I don't think I'd get up today if you didn't bang on my door like a maniac. Thanks. Why do I feel like we have different views on what happened? What makes you say that? Your voice just now. Sorry, I wasn't trying to take it out on you. Well, you can make up for it by going somewhere with me. You don't have to, but it'd be a nice change, wouldn't it? You're still thinking about dragging me to places? I don't give up. I'll think about it, but not today, okay? Any other day is better than this one. Fine. Well, what's your plan then? I'm going to the campus for lunch, and right now I'm waiting for Liam to answer my texts. And after that, I'll come home. Would just collapse and turn off my brain for the rest of the day. I don't think I like the idea of that, but it's not like I can fight you. It's just for today. Well, at least I hope. Ryan grunted and walked out of the room. I knew that he wasn't happy to hear what I'd said. However, there was no use pretending I was fine. As I was about to finish preparing to head out, I heard him stomping down the stairs, probably to get the car ready. I joined him in the car moments afterwards. I could still feel the stress towering in my head, so my pace was a little slower than usual. Did you get everything? Yeah. Ryan drove us to our next destination, and both of us were sitting in silence, busy with our own thoughts. Kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little that he was treating my problems as if they were his. Have you thought about what to do with Dylan? Huh? No, not really. You know that he's going to be there too. Yeah, I know. I guess it's just going to be awkward then. And that's it? What? Was I supposed to say something? You slapped him yesterday. Aren't you afraid that he might do something to get back at you? Honestly, I hadn't really thought about that. The idea that the crocodile will hold a grudge against somebody was kind of foreign to me. Though since Ryan saw it as a possibility, I was starting to have second thoughts. Jeez, maybe? Well, fuck. Actually, I don't want to think about it. Obviously, it scares me, but then that'd kind of make us even, wouldn't it? Guess we'll find out. The hell are you talking about? I'm not letting him do that to you. Well, friends do get back at each other sometimes, and maybe that'll make it official. I'm not really sure if he considers me his friend yet. Did he really mean it last night? But if he did, then why did he throw me? And you also need a punch to know? What the fuck, Joel? Listen, I know you're not in your right mind right now, but that's insane. You're right, sorry. I swear that if he ever touches, I'll make him regret the day we met. Don't do anything stupid. Everyone seems to be doing stupid shit. Why can't I join them too? Ryan? Calm down. Please. It's difficult to stay calm, especially when I've seen how hurt you are, and I can tell that the motherfucker isn't even aware of it. I didn't think I believed that. I was sure the reptile knew. However, Dylan was such a good actor. He'd convinced everyone, himself included. My phone beeped and our conversation was interrupted. It was good timing, actually, as it gave me an opportunity to think about something else. I read the message I received, and immediately I regretted it. What's wrong? I put my phone back in my pocket as I let out a sigh. It seemed the Lynx really knew how to keep me on edge, as what he'd sent me was the only thing that I was worried about at the moment. Can you do me a favor, Ryan? If you accept, tomorrow we can do anything you want. Drastically, Ryan's mood had improved. Bear's face was brightened up at the speed of sound. Interesting, you're tempting me right now. I need you to meet Liam in my place to get his notes for me. That sounds easy enough. Were you worried about seeing Dylan with him? Basically. Where's the Lynx? Apparently in the library. Haha, you shouldn't be worried then. As if Dylan would ever be there. No, he wouldn't. I wonder why I was still covering for the reptile. However, I figured that this time would be the last. I understand, though. I wouldn't want to see Liam either. I'll wait in the canteen, okay? Sure, this shouldn't take long. The bear seemed content with the deal. That face suited him better than the angry one did for sure. After all, I shouldn't burden him with all these feelings that were supposed to be mine alone. What was Dylan thinking? Was that really the real him? Why was he trying to push me away so much? Soon after that, the car came to a halt, and then the bear backed it into the parking spot. I'm a little hungry, but I'll wait until everyone shows up. Sheesh, go and buy something. There's only a cup of coffee in your system right now. Joel, listen to me. Go eat. Fine, I'll get a snack. I got out of the car and watched Ryan go into the building. The guy just had so much spare energy. Meanwhile, I was only staring at the building from the outside. The place felt quiet compared to the usual, though it made sense because of the time. I walked through the hall as I kept pondering things. The silence was kind of keeping me company. It wasn't long until I found myself reaching where I was supposed to go. I know it's early, but we're gonna leave off here tonight. I know it's early. I just want some time to exist. So yeah, stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.